right, so this one, the SMV, is a very fun and tricky one. You're not going to see it out in clinic a lot. I'll just go ahead and tell you that. Fortunately, whichever way you want to look at it, the ART still has it on its list. Therefore, that's what we're doing this little video for today. So, as you can tell, this is where the patient's head is completely thrown back and the vertex of the skull is going to be touching the IR. And speaking of, with skulls, utilize that IR. If you can, have the patient rest up against it. It will help stabilize because people are very wobbly, and you can use that IR as a way to stabilize and help a patient not move as much, and hopefully reduce the amount of repeats that you might be seeing. So, but with the SMV, we are going to be using the IOML, inferior to the EAM. We're using the IOML, which is going to be parallel to our IR. IOML parallel, MSP is going to be perpendicular. All right, I've already lost my ruler, but you get the gist. All right, so you're going to want to throw this patient back. As you can imagine, they are not going to stay in this position very long. I feel like I have a pretty good neck, and I can only do it for about a minute or two. So if you want to see how it feels, practice or put yourself in this position and see how comfortable it is. All right, so the key is to move quickly. All right, so you want to have that IOML parallel to the IR, MSP perpendicular, chin all the way back. Again, make sure that you're looking at the patient head on, that there's no rotation or tilt or anything like that. Make sure that they're nice and straight, and you're going to center 1.5 inches posterior or behind the mandible. So you're going to want to feel and look for that. As Sarah just said, don't touch the squishy part. Just touch the mandible and go about 1.5 inches below, and that's where you're going to get. All right. With skulls, again, you want to include the entire skull, have light around there. Are you going to see light down here? Hopefully not, because hopefully that head is attached to a person. But if you have light on either side, you will be just fine, and up above. So make sure the IOML is parallel, MSP perpendicular. Now, not all patients can do that, which is super fun. So this is where we're going to start using our critical thinking and think outside of the box. Say a patient can only put their head out this much. Their IOML is definitely not perpendicular to that IR. What is one person to do? Let me show you. You will just simply angle the tube up so that the IOML, the patient is what it is. Thank you, Sarah. The patient is what it is. You want to make sure that the X-ray beam is perpendicular to the IR. So I feel I may be skewed, but I feel at the same time that might not be too bad, actually, just by winging it there. Okay, so you want the beam. So the beam is coming from right here. If you can imagine the beam and imagine that IOML, you want them to be perpendicular to each other. Okay, so if you can get their head all the way back, you won't have to use an angle. But I can guarantee you, your CIs, as much as they love you and will do as much as they can for you, this is a really hard one for them to do. So the likelihood you'll have to put an angle on this is pretty high, all right? But it's also something that you're gonna have to do out in the clinic as well too. So remember, IOML perpendicular to the central ray, which hopefully is parallel to the IR. If not, make your adjustments. Again, 1.5 inches below that mandible, and call it a day.
Just like how you have to approximate the angle on a portable chest x-ray, it's the same idea here.